those questions because yesterday it wasn't a direct interaction with you.
Right.
So we'll be asking more questions about the NIMC and what you need to know, and all those questions you have, you can direct them directly to Mr. Kayode Adegoke, Regional Coordinator, National Identity Management Commission.
That's 0809 597 5708. Feel free to drop your questions there. On Facebook, it's Nigeria Info 99.3. On Twitter, Nigeria Info 99.3. On YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 live. So you can watch us there. Mr. Kayode Adegoke is now joining us via the telephone. Mr. Adegoke, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
It's good to have you here.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Nigeria Info has had you for 2 days back to back because we need these trashed out.
And we say thank you. Thank you
Once
for
and
hitting
for
our
all.
call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right. So for the next 1 hour, you'll be interfacing a lot with us and with the people who would be asking their questions from you. Now, in 2005, the federal government set up a coordination committee to inform its opinion on the best way to coordinate various identification schemes and the myriad of identity cards being issued by public and private institutions in Nigeria. A multi-purpose card was recommended for adoption to help manage several applications that are all tied to the same person. This concept of a universal means of identification saw the inception and implementation of a national identity management system, which has 5 components. Number 1, the National Identity Database or Central Identity Repository. Number 2, the National Identification Number. Number 3, the Identification Card or Token. Number 4, the Verification and Authentication. And 5, infrastructure and harmonization and integration of the existing database. The National Identity Card is a component of the National Identity Management System, whereas the National Identity Management Commission is saddled with the responsibility of operating and regulating issues involving national identity in Nigeria. According to a report in the News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, as of December 2018, 34 million Nigerians had been captured in the National Identity Management Database. But the Commission puts the number at about 36.6 million this year, with about 1,000 registration centers nationwide. September 16, 2019, Nigeria for the first time joined the rest of the world to mark the Identity Day, International Identity Day, themed Assured Digital Identity for All. We'll be talking about this for the next 1 hour. Mr. Adegoke, there is a lot of work going on here, and the number puts at 36.6 million naira. I need money. Did you hear me say naira?
Yeah. I heard you.
36.6 million Nigerians have been captured worldwide. Please do tell us, when did NIMC begin registration of Nigerians?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, NIMC began registration December 2012 nationwide. We started in Lagos, FCT, and we spread to other states of the Federation.
Right.
So we've commenced enrollment now for about 7 years.
Right.
Between 2012 and now, it's about close to 7 years. Yes.
Do we have an official figure as to as it stands today, the number of Nigerians that have been captured in the NIMC?
Well, I think she got it right. We've captured about 36 to 37 million Nigerians as of today.
Right.
So I have my calculator here. So 36.6 million Nigerians over 7 years. That means we've registered about 5. Okay, so this calculator is deceiving me. So that means we've had just about 500. There about 50,000 people per year. Thereabout.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, that's about 50,000. Around 50,000 per year over the past 7 years.
Yes, like about 20% of our projected population of 200 million.
Don't you think that's a very slow pace? I mean, for 7 years, we have almost 200 million Nigerians. When would we then complete the capturing? Because Nigerians will tell you, I would also tell you, I mean, if I want to get my ATM card, I walk into the bank. I think now you can even wait to collect the card.
Yes, absolutely.
So things have moved pretty fast. Why is it taking us so long to get this done?
Okay, thank you for the question. You rightly put it the other time. that you have the National Identity Management System, which composed of 5 items. So what we've done now in Nigeria, different from the past exercise, is to start with the infrastructure. That is, we set up the database. After setting up the database, we ensure that the infrastructure is okay and it has modern facilities. Now, afterwards, we began the registration in 2012. But however, I want to point out something. There was a bit of apathy on the part of Nigerians towards the exercise. And I can't blame Nigerians. Why? Because of their previous experience with the 2002-2003 exercise. So many Nigerians felt it would go the same way, not knowing that this is a different ball game, and we are serious now about identification process in the country.
Mr. Adewuni, can you take us through the processes very quickly? Because we'll like people to get into this conversation. They can ask all the questions they want to ask you. We don't want to take much of the people's time. Okay. Take us through the processes that one needs to go through to be able to register.
Okay, the process is not cumbersome. First and foremost, what an applicant needs to do is to walk to any of our centers. As of today, we have over 1,000 centers spread across the country. In Lagos alone, we have close to 100 centers. The LCDAs, the local government, some selective banks, some churches and mosques. So what an applicant needs to do is walk into any of our centers, collect a form, which is free. You are not to pay for any service. Once you collect the form, fill the form, give the form to the enrollment officer who will enroll you. After enrollment, a unique national identification number, which we call NIN, will be issued to the applicant therein. So then, once that is done, the applicant will only wait for an SMS from us stating that the card is ready.
How long does it take to get the card ready?
Well, like we said yesterday, because of funding challenge, we've not been able to produce or personalize enough cards. However, federal government is working assiduously hard on that. But the focus of this identification...
Let me get you on that one. The federal government is working to get you more funding?
Assiduously hard, yes, to provide more funding for the commission, so that we can actually do a lot for Nigerians. However, our DG, Engineer Aliu Aziz, has emphasized that our project now is on the national identification number. That is the crux or the fulcrum of our project. Just like the social security number in the US. Nobody asks you for any card in the US. You want to do any transaction, it is your social security number they ask for.
That's right.
The same thing in Nigeria, that's what we are replicating. What you need is the national identification number, which is NIN. And at the point of enrollment, after some minutes, it's a system-generated number, 11-digit number, which is assigned to only one person for life. That number will be given to you. You want to do any transaction in the bank or any other private sector players or the public sector, it is the number that you will be asked of, not the card.
Do we have age classification for this? I mean, can a baby go get this done, or you have to get to a particular age before you can get registered?
No. For now, it's open to all Nigerians, irrespective of your age. However, there is a caveat. For people below the age of 16, one of the two parents, and if no parent, a guardian, must have been enrolled, and we will now use the NIN of one of the two parents or the guardian for the minor. We consider those below 16 as minor. We are also registering them.
And that number will be valid even if that minor gets to 18 years?
Even to 100 years.
Okay.
Is there a plan, or have you started capturing babies from birth? So if this is an ongoing number, it's a personalized number for each individual. That means we should be targeting babies being born and give them numbers at the primary healthcare centers or the hospitals where these deliveries are done, or the TBAs. Are we targeting babies being born and giving them numbers at birth?
At birth places?
Yes, that's our plan. You will see that the fifth item on that NIMS is the harmonization program, which we have started with. We have the NPOPC, that is the National Population Commission, who are in charge of registration of birth and death. So we are working with them now as part of the harmonization policy, whereby once a child is born, before the child is issued the birth certificate, the NIN must be gotten first, and that NIN should be embossed on the birth certificate. That's our plan, and we are working towards that.
Is this going to happen at the hospital, or the parents will then go to your center and then come back to the hospital? Is it possible to have all of this done at the hospital? At the hospital, they can generate the NIN.
Right.
Since you're working with private institutions, with churches and mosques, it's possible to have this done at the hospitals also.
Definitely, that's our plan. Because we don't want to stress anybody. Our plan is to have that's our center in virtually every location, including but not limited to hospitals as well. So
when is this birth plan registration kicking off? When exactly is it starting?
Okay, no, as I told you, as a president, we are working with the NPOPC. So once we finalize all arrangements, we will announce to Nigerians, just like we did for the NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service. For now, you want to get your international passport, Nigerian passport, you can't do that without the NIN.
But they cannot generate the NIN at the immigration centers.
No, we have a center in virtually all immigration passport offices now.
Okay.
You just want
is that right? I mean, someone just left us here who's going to get his passport. He had to go to your center elsewhere to get his NIN, and then he had to grease some palms to get that so he could meet up with his passport. Are you sure that we have registration point at all passport offices?
Are you present at all these areas?
Okay, like in Lagos, we have one in Ikoyi. That's the passport office in Ikoyi.
Yes.
Okay.
And the center has about 7 or 9 systems available for Nigerians. But because Nigerians don't know that we have a center there, so what they do is to go to nearby centers to get it done before coming. We have a center there. The center is mainly for those who want to apply for the passports, so that we can serve them within the space of that.
Let's talk about corruption at registration centers. My colleague Wemimo just mentioned something in passing right now. Someone told us not too long ago this morning the processes that he had to endure when he wanted to get his own NIN, that's NIN, and he had to grease some palms. He had to part with some money to be able to get his done. And we've also had complaints from Nigerians, who you will soon get to be hearing from in a moment, about how difficult it's been to get registered at the registration centers. That if you are not ready to part with your money, you might just get to go there over and over and over again before anybody captures or even sees where you are. So, Mr. Adewuni, what are you doing? What is NIMC doing to make sure that Nigerians don't have to go through this unnecessary hardship just because they want to get registered?
Okay, thank you for the question. Let me first and foremost reiterate the DG and the management stance on the extortion. For us in NIMC, it is zero tolerance. I mean, zero tolerance to extortion. We have an internal mechanism whereby staff are sanctioned, especially staff who have erred in the course of the duty when it comes to integrity. And we've said it at several fora that the enrollment is free, card issuance is free, issuance of NIN is free. But we've had cases whereby 1 or 2 applicants have complained about the attitude of our staff in some locations. We have sanctioned staff, I can tell you that.
How many people have been prosecuted for corruption issues?
No, it's an internal, but I can't give you a figure offhand. But I can tell you that for NIMC, for us, you can quote me anywhere. And the DG's emphasis is even on integrity of the staff. Because if you are talking of the integrity of the system, the staff must also have integrity. So, and that's our focus. But like I said, we are having a large turnout of people at all our centers now.
Right.
And we discovered that Lagosians, especially Lagos, don't have patience. Not all, sorry to say that. People want to get things done in a hurry. We understand the topography of Lagos. You want to get things done so that you can quickly go back to your work or whatever you are doing. However, I want to appeal to Lagosians and Nigerians to be patient. You won't believe that people get to our office as early as 5 a.m.
Yes, we've heard that report. Yes, we have.
And they wait. Let me give you an instance. In our office in Alausa, because of the need to respond to the challenges of the people, instead of starting our enrollment by 8, we start by 7 a.m. now. And we start by 7 a.m., we don't go home until 7 p.m. It's 7 to 7 now, instead of 8 to 5. Just to accommodate
what's the average turnaround time for each individual? If I begin the process now, how many hours does it take to finish with one person?
Okay, it depends on the number of applicants we have on the. For instance, if you're working maybe at number 1 on the queue, the process is no more than 5 minutes to enroll you. However, if you have crowd, between 30 minutes and 1 hour, it will reach your turn.
No, I'm saying, so for myself alone, for one individual, I'm going to sit in front of your officer just for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And I'm out of your office?
Yes, once it reaches your turn, 5 minutes to capture you.
All right, let's talk about the harmonization. You have to just see the phone lines here buzzing.
People are waiting. They can't wait
to get on this. Now, NIN, that's National Identification Number, is now very, very, very compulsory for so many things, including application for and issuance of a passport, opening of individual and or personal bank accounts, purchase of insurance policies, purchase, transfer, registration of interest in land, which is subject to the Land Use Act, transactions relating to pensions and health insurance schemes, consumer credit transactions, payment of taxes, registration of voters, transactions having social security implications, registration for and provision and use of hospitality services, also of health and medical services, application for the adoption of a baby, of a child or a person under such laws, purchase and registration of aircraft, ships, boats, motor vehicles, motorcycles.
The list goes on.
It's a lot. Enrollment into primary and secondary and tertiary institutions.
Right.
In fact, now, even to apply for JAMB, you would need to have this number from 2020. So it is pretty important, which means that NIMC would need to improve on turnaround time. More Nigerians are coming up for registration because from 2020, students who would need to register for JAMB would need this number. So you'll be having a lot more. Is there preparations for this in the next 3 months?
Definitely. We are prepared. Like you said earlier, the process of harmonization, one of the things the DG has done is to come up with the ecosystem policy. Now, this ecosystem policy simply means that we have invited players from the private and the public sector to partner with us in our enrollment drive. So, about 3-4 months ago, we actually called for invitations for people to bid to be partners for enrollment purpose. So, within the next few months, I can tell you that a lot of private sector players will come up who will conduct enrollment on our behalf. And also some public sector players like immigration, NPOPC, Federal Inland Revenue Services. You just walk into any of these federal government agencies and enroll. You don't need to come to our centers. Then all the private sector players that will be licensed too, we have the enrollment centers. Meaning that from that 1,000 centers, we can go to about 5,000 centers within a space of 3-4 months.
I wish we had a timeline to when this would happen.
Absolutely. Mr. Okay, very quickly, I'm still on Wemimo's question here. I'm just trying to look at it from another angle as to how the turnaround time can be improved upon and how we can cut down wastages as regards human resources, material resources as well, and time in particular. What is happening to online registration? Is that an area you're looking at? I know there used to be, but right now I'm not sure that it's in existence.
Okay, yes, you are right on that question. The truth is, in the past, you can actually go online, fill your form, then print it out in 2D barcode, bring it to our center. But because of the BVN harmonization, we have actually harmonized our data with the BVN, meaning that even without you coming to enroll, once you have a BVN, we will have issued you a national identification number. So if you fill the form online, once you come to our center, the process is invalid because of your BVN harmonization. So meaning that you only do modification. All the information you have filled online might not really be needed again because most of the information on your BVN will only modify your data.
Are you saying that people who already have BVN do not need to come to your centers?
No, they still need to come. What I'm saying is that for all BVN holders, we have assigned the national identification number to them, but they still need to come to validate the process.
Okay.
What exactly does that validation involve? I mean, if I have a BVN, which automatically means I have NIN, shouldn't I just be able to look at a code and my NIN jumps out at me and I have the number? Why do I need to come again to your office? Again, minimizing crowd.
No, why you need to come is because the process of NIN is different from the process of BVN. For instance, let me give you an example, the fingerprint. The standard fingerprint in the world is 442. Okay. For the BVN, it was 111. So you need to come and validate that, 442. And also your facial our own facial has to meet with the ICAO standard, International Civil Aviation Organization standard. So when you come, you need to do those two things and possibly modify some of the data you have given. Maybe the address you gave with BVN is no longer valid. You come, you change it with us.
Why you need I wonder why we have different standards, though, but I'm not sure that's for you to answer. But final question before we head to the phone lines, which is going really agog, is again on the harmonization. So you've said that once I get the NIN, I mean, we could use this for any of these things. If I then go, for instance, to get my passport, because Nigerians have complained that they were given temporary cards from NIMC, a piece of paper, although some people are saying that they can't even get the temporary papers right now because you guys don't have paper to print. I found that really somehow. But if I then go to any of these institutions, why do they keep asking for the card? Why are they not asking me for the number? And if they ask me for the number, is there integration? Is there tech back-end integration wherein they type in my number, it brings out all of my information, and I'm out of there? Is there such integration, back-end tech, all put together?
Of course, that's what we've done with the Nigerian Immigration Service. What they're asking for is your number. But, most Nigerians, let me use the opportunity to enlighten Nigerians. What they call the temporary slip is not a temporary slip.
Okay.
It is the National Identification Number slip.
Okay.
So when you go to NIS office, they will ask for that slip, not the card. The card is what we call the General Multipurpose Card.
Why are they asking for the slip and not just for the number?
Why can't they just ask for the number and you just give them the number?
No, why they ask for the slip is that some people don't have the number offhand.
Okay.
What if I have it saved on my phone, just like I do my BVN?
And I just
for my
call it out.
BVN, I don't have a slip, but I know my BVN.
Then you give it to them. Once you have it on your slip, you give it to them because you have to put the number on the form you fill with them. So at the thought of a button on their own system, they will bring out your data.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's what they've done. Maybe one of these days, if your passport has expired, you can give it a try and see whether what I'm saying is right or not.
So it's not going to stop you. It's not going to stop you whether you have a piece of paper or not. As long as you know your NIN, you know your number, you're good to go. Okay.
I would ask you to please hold on a bit. Mr. Adegoke, please hold on. Let's go on this very short break. It's just for 1 minute. The phone lines are buzzing. When we come back, we will open the lines and Nigerians can then interact with you. This is a Morning Crossfire. Today, we're continuing the conversation from Hard Facts yesterday, looking at the National Identity Card registration and the issues surrounding this. There's a pressing need for Nigerians to get their NIN because from next year, things are changing. You would need that number to do a lot of things. Let's go on this break. When we come back, we'll be reading your messages. Wow, WhatsApp is also full. The number on WhatsApp is 08095975805, and you can watch us on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. Just do a quick search. We will be back shortly. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I am Sheriff Quadry.
#1 talk news and sports station. This is the Morning Crossfire with Wemimo and Sheriff.
This is the Morning Crossfire. You are welcome back. We're talking about the national identity number. And everything involved, registration, the card and all. And we have joining us on the show today, Mr. Kayode Adegoke, the Regional Coordinator, National Identity Management Commission. We're heading to the phone in a bit. But during your conversation with Ijoma Esek yesterday, Ms. Adegoke, you mentioned that you had some numbers with which people could report corruption at your centers. What are those numbers?
Okay, my number is number 1.
You want to give out your personal number?
Yes.
All right, go ahead then.
080 29 66 5275. Let me repeat it again. 080 29 66 5275.
Okay. And the other number?
People can call me. Yes, I pick my call. Anyone can call me. If there are issues of corruption allegation against any of our staff.
Okay, what's the other number?
Okay, you can call 080 369 72507.
Okay.
080 369 72507.
What evidence would you need people to give for you to be able to investigate?
Okay, we just need you to prove to us that someone, a staff, actually asked for a bribe or a token to do the job that I should have done without asking for anything. Or you gave money to a staff before you were enrolled, or before you were given the slip, or before you were given the card.
All right. Let's give out the phone numbers so you can talk to Nigerians. If you want to reach us, here are the numbers.
Call us on 01-277-0993, 01-277-1993, 01-277-2993, and 01-277-3993. This is Nigeria Info. We are listening.
This is Nigeria Info. We are listening. Remember that the first number, 01277-0993, is for female
for
callers.
For the ladies only.
Check yourself, be sure.
Exclusively for the ladies.
Right.
Let's get on with the calls now. Hadiza Sulaiman is here. Hadiza from Aja, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, listening to this program this morning. In fact, I've been on the line trying to get in. I'm like, I'm not getting.
Welcome. Now you're in.
Yeah, thank you. The issue of NIM is something that, for me personally, I was really affected. Was it last year? Yeah. I did my registration. I did my registration in 2017. I'm trying to get initially getting the printer itself was an issue. When you go, they tell you the printer is bad. Moves from one place to the other to print out. Eventually, I got
your number.
I didn't even get the printout. Yeah, but they wrote out that one that after they capture you, that they will write it out for you. They gave me that one. So
they gave you your national identity number?
Yes.
Okay.
That one was written out, and I was supposed to get my printout. That's a temporary slip.
The slip, okay.
I don't know. I went there. I've been going to collect that slip. These people, you will get there today. They will tell you that, oh no, we are done collecting papers. The queue is too long. You guys come back two times. I even had to take leave last year, 2018.
Wow.
When I was like, okay, let me use this period to pursue this thing.
Hadiza, one thing though, Mr. Adegoke said earlier that you will get an SMS from them when this is ready. You didn't get any SMS
since 2017.
One SMS. Okay, let me say, when I finally took my leave, I started going there. When I got there, 11 a.m., I was told that, they are done collecting slips for that day, papers for that day, that I should come at so time. They will attend to me. So I'm like, okay, what if I come this day? What this time? I hope you are not going to start giving me stories again. They say, no problem, just come. Do you know that I was supposed to come between 8 a.m. and between 8 and 11? That's when they will be submitting the slip. I got there 10 minutes past 8. I was told that they are done collecting. And I'm like...
Again for the day.
They pasted Yeah, you boldly said that between 8 and 11 you'll be collecting sleep.
Okay.
So 10 minutes
All right.
past 8,
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hadiza. We'll be compiling all of these complaints. We'll take like 3 calls and let Mr. Adegoke reply. But please keep your comments short. Okay, if you could try, summarize it, so we could take as many calls as possible. Rotimi is on the line. You're welcome.
As Uche. Uche, good morning.
Oh, Uche.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Uche.
Yeah, I'm calling from Maryland.
Good to have you.
Now, quickly, in line with what the last caller said, there's what we call systemic corruption, whereby the staff will want you to pay. You deliberately frustrate you in order for you to make commitment to pay. How would they address that?
Okay. All right. Systemic corruption. Uche asked that question, and that's we asked Mr. Adegoke that question earlier, and he did say, that the commission is looking into that, really.
Right. We have Kainde on the line. Good morning, Kainde.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to the other man on the line.
Mr. Adegoke.
Good morning.
My contribution is based. It is easy to talk like this on the radio, but in reality, what you are saying is not really true, because as far as I'm concerned, I have gone through that process around 2014. And at the moment now, I cannot even pinpoint where I kept that slip. And at that time, I don't think they generated any code. Just told me to come back, or maybe I should be expecting that they're going to send me a message for the permanent card. And this one you are telling us now that there is a particular code, which I don't think there is on that particular slip that was given to me that time. That's 2014. I don't know what to do now. Maybe to go for another registration, or maybe to go to the office, or maybe there's any code we can send to, and then you'll be able to tell me if actually...
All right, Kende, let him respond to your question. I think that's clear enough. Mr. Adegoke, could you go on, please?
Okay. Let me first and foremost apologize to Madam Hadiza for the stress.
And to many other Nigerians.
Yes, and to many other Nigerians.
I'm sure many people have the same complaints.
That's true.
Yes.
For the stress. Let me say on island axis, that is Lekki, Ajavia. Initially, after that 2017, we have about 1 or 2 centers. So, but today, we have close to 8 centers on that axis. Okay. We have opened up other centers. Then we have other banks that partner with us on that axis. So if you're an account holder of some of those banks, you can walk into the office and they will enroll you. Okay. They also, we're at Iru LTDA, we're at Ibejuleki LTDA, we're also at Igwefon. Okay. Those 3 places. Then we're also at some selected churches. You understand, where you can walk in freely and do the enrollment.
Okay.
How many churches?
Do you have names of these places?
And where are they?
Okay, maybe for the banks, I don't want to mention it so that I won't be biased over other.
And you won't be giving them adverts, but how about the churches?
Yeah. Or do you have this list on your website where people could check where they could go to?
We do.
Okay. All right.
We do. If you go to our website, nimsi.gov.ng, www.nimsi.gov.ng, you'll see all the list of centers we have in Nigeria, including Lagos State. In fact, what we've done in Lagos is we are also taking enrollment to corporate organizations. We understand the stress involved in Lagos, so we take our enrollment system, we call it the mobile enrollment unit. Okay. We go to, then on Saturdays, Sundays, we go to churches, we go to mosques, we go to clubs. We've been to Ikoyi Club, we've been to so many churches, Redeemed, RCCG, Catholic Church, Apostolic Faith, Winners, a lot of churches.
Okay, let me read some comments from WhatsApp. I find it very funny. Mila from Lekki says, "Good morning, Wemimo and Sheriff. My NIMC card looks like an ATM. Is my bank account linked to it? Can I deposit into it? Can I link it to my BVN?" Yes. I thought it was almost going to ask if he could use it to withdraw.
Yes, he can.
He can use it to withdraw?
Yeah, like I told you, that our card is general multi-purpose card.
Oh.
You can use for so many things. We have a relationship with MasterCard. But as today in Nigeria, you can only load money on the card in any UBA outlet.
Okay.
Why? Why is that? Since it's linked to my BVN from my bank, why can't I put money from my bank?
No, the card is not linked to your BVN, but the NIN is linked to your BVN.
Okay.
But for the card, because of the general multipurpose function of the card, we only have UBA for now, that you can walk into any of the centers.
When can we have other banks on this? I mean, if it's multi-purpose, I should be able to do this easily.
Other banks are coming up, but they have to meet up with CBN's CBN directive.
Right.
For us, we don't control the banks. It is the
Okay,
CBN.
it's optional. All right. Let's read another message. Please include your name when you send this. I'll read it because it's an important question, although I think it's been answered. It says, my question is, with making NIN number a condition for JAM registration, will persons less than 16 years be registered so that they can enroll for JAM 2020? Mr. Adegoke has mentioned that their parents who have the numbers can then register using their own number. That's right?
No, let me quickly come in.
Okay.
The person under 16 will have to register. It's compulsory. However, for that registration, one of the two parents or guardian must have been enrolled first. Then give the word, that name, because we'll use the name when we're enrolling the child.
Right. So the parents need to go register, and then
First.
they can go with their ward who is under 16.
Yes.
Okay, let's take some more.
So let's clarify this. Must the parent go with the ward, or the ward can just take the parent's NIN?
The one can go with the parent's name or the guardian's name and come to any of our centers.
Right.
then.
Fantastic.
Let's
Sounds
go back
good.
to the phone lines. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Sheriff and Wemimo.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Chinazo, calling from Agidi.
Welcome.
Okay, welcome.
Hello, can you hear?
Yes,
We can
go
hear
on,
you.
Chinazo.
Please
Go
take
on.
30 seconds. Go ahead.
All right. 3 years. I've done this registration. I remember October 11, 2014. I cannot forget that date.
Wow.
I did that registration in Owerri. Now, and I recall before then, Buhari was not in support of the National Identity Management Commission, with the whole procedure. Then, shortly after 2015, when he assumed office, I saw on the television NIMC going to present his identity card to him. And I was surprised. Me that did in 2014, I've not gotten anything.
He is the president. He is the president.
I'm still waiting to get. I'm still waiting to get where you're going with this. Really.
Now, okay. What I'm saying is, it's taking a whole lot of at least 5 years now, and I haven't gotten not even an SMS.
Have you gotten your national identity number?
Yeah, I've gotten that.
Have you tried using it
Have you
anywhere?
tried using it?
Was it accepted?
I've not tried using it anywhere. I've not tried using it.
Okay. But you have your number. You have your number.
Yeah, I do have my number. And I know some people who did this thing in 2016, but they've gotten what I can.
All right.
So why is mine different?
Okay. Sorry about that. Alera is joining us right now. Alera, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. I would like to something about the national ID card.
Yes, please.
I registered sometime in 2014, and I was given a slip, the national ID card laminated. But sometime this year, I decided to go because I was told SMS will be sent to me to notify me of the original when it's out. But they didn't send the SMS. So I said, let me go and find out. I went to the local government. I was told it was not out. But within that period and now, I've misplaced it. I can't find it because they stole it from my bag with some other documents. So I want to find out how do I get a replacement?
All right.
Right. Okay.
All right, Alera.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Adegoke, could you answer those two questions? Some people are registered since yesterday. I heard some people are registered in 2012, I think, but they still haven't gotten the card. Why is it taking so long? I mean, 7 years is a long time.
Okay, thank you so much, madam. Now, for those who registered 2012, 2013, and 2014, the cards are ready. I can confirm that to you. We have a lot of cards, close to 100,000 cards in Lagos that people have not even come to pick up. We've sent SMS, we've sent email, but people are not coming up to pick the card.
But some people are saying that they've come to your centers. They will tell them the cards are not available, but if they give money to some of the staff, the card is then produced. If you have 100, if you have thousands of cards there, shouldn't you be checking if these people have been coming, for them and they were just not being given?
No, funny enough, the cards are not being produced in Lagos. So even if you offer any money to any staff, that staff is just don't offer. I've said it severally. Applicants should not offer money to any staff for card personalization or NIN. It is free, absolutely free. Like the last caller, the card, I'm sure the card is ready. 5 years ago, the card is ready. All it needs to do is to come to our office, just give us the name. Even if you don't have the name, as of today on MTN and Airtel, you can. There's a USSD code, *346#.
Okay.
With *346#, you will get your name instantly. Although you will be charged a token, I think about 20 naira for the service by the GSM provider. Right. So you will get your name.
Okay.
Let's quickly talk about replacement because we need to take another call now.
That's what I want to talk about.
Yes,
replacement. To replace your name, it is 500 naira. You pay it to a TSA account in favor of NIMC, National Identity Management Commission. Once you have the payment receipt, you come to our center. We do a reprint for you.
What TSA account are we talking about here?
That is National Identity Management Commission. That is Treasury Single Account.
Okay.
You pay into federal government account.
Do you just walk into any bank and tell them that you want to pay into the TSA account of NIMC?
Yes, any bank.
Okay.
Any bank.
Let's take Uneke now. Uneke, thank you for holding the line. You've been on for a while. Good morning to you.
Yes. Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
I have a slightly different story. I registered in 2015, got the slip and all. Shortly afterwards, I was told they are no longer printing the card, so I kept my paper. Sometime July this year, I was sent an email with a code to report at Bonnie Camp to pick the card. I went and I got the card.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
So it took 4 years. It took 4 years anyway.
Okay.
I have the card.
You got the message and you got the card. That's interesting, really.
Right, good to hear. Good to hear. Let's read some more messages from WhatsApp. Someone says the code, I've tried it. It did not work. That's the *346#. You need
on
to be
MTN and Airtel.
On MTN or Airtel. That's what he says.
For now.
Also from Stephen from Igomu says, I did my registration in August at the Kogi Immigration Office. I got there at 8 a.m., filled the form, and by 11 I was captured and given my slip. The process was smooth, but I noticed other people were not finding it easy to get because some people started asking me if I paid to get it fast. He said one of the problems is that the computers are slow. Also, Karim from Ifakoja says, I've registered since 2013 and I have not got the original since then. How can you help with that? Okay, let's read this from Mr. V from Surulere says, good morning, everyone in the studio. I've heard our NMC guest talk about it's in our plans in most of his responses. A question for him: when do I get my NIN card that I registered for since 4th of January 2014? Or is it that NIMC did not have a server at that time when we registered? Says I've been holding on to the temporary slip for God knows how long when they gave us the card. Well, Mr. Adegoke said your cards are ready. But if these cards are ready, Mr. Adegoke, why have they not gotten SMS to tell them to go pick the cards up?
Now, what we notice is that in the process of enrollment, some applicants will issue numbers that are no longer in use. So I will have sent series of SMS to that number, no response. And also, many applicants will have put do not disturb message on their phone. So the SMS will not reach them.
Do you send to their email addresses also?
We also do.
Okay.
Some don't have a functional email address. We just discover that the email will bounce back.
And then do you have to pick up the card at the very place where you registered, or you could pick it? I mean, you know the thing with the ATM, I could have my card transferred to my location.
Okay, no, like in Lagos, we have about 4 card collection centers. The Boni Camp, the earlier caller mentioned, Alausa office, Ojo, and we have Iru local government. We have also the UBA house or Marina.
If I move out of Lagos, can I move my card to the state where I'm in?
Of course, once you move out of Lagos, let's assume you move to Sokoto. You get to Sokoto, just go to our office in Sokoto, apply for card transfer. At no cost to you, we'll transfer the card to you.
Fantastic.
Right. Let's look at Alex. Alex, good morning to you.
Good morning, Miss. Sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to the guest. Yeah, actually, I have very important question. I know a lot of Nigerians need to ask this too. One, I want to know, do they work Monday to Sundays? Saturday?
Okay.
For collection, because I've registered my own. Initially, I've registered in the initial stage in Oshodi. And I went through hell in getting this. At the end of the day, to go and collect it at my local government at Alimosho, they told me it is not ready. No, it is not in their system or whatever. And I got this in a local government in Oshodi. I tried so many ways. I got so frustrated. I have now had to turn to Alausa, whereby I got there and they now say I have to do another one.
Oh, whoa.
To start all over again.
I must be honest. I tell you.
Why?
And I have challenges with vision. I had to go another 2 stress. And now, for me to get the paper, I had to pay 100 naira. And I told them no. Thank God for the lady there. She said no, she wouldn't want this because the one you gave us is not usable in the bank. You can't use it to open an account. And I said, oh, so you now want me to pay 100 naira for giving me a slip that is not even able to open an account?
Why can't the initial slip, why can't you use the initial number in the bank?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not the official because there's a lot of corruption going on there. And also, I had to write them via their email, no response. I went to the social media, no response. I was like, am I talking to robot or what? Okay, now you mentioned something that I can use that to withdraw money, right? So I hope if I go and use that to withdraw money, it will not be banana follow me.
Alex,
thank you so much. But then from Aja on WhatsApp says, I just checked my NIN through the hashtag 346. Star 346 # Great. It says, but I don't think I've done the registration except for international passport, voter's card, and driver's license. Comment here from Paul from Ogun State said, I registered on the 17th of November 2014 at Covenant University. Up till now, I'm yet to collect the original card. Banks don't even accept the slip in Ogun State. Amazing. Karim from Ifakoja, he says, I was there last month. I was told it is not ready. And it says, can we say he's not saying the truth about the readiness of the card since 2013? We also have a comment from Josephine on WhatsApp. Says, good morning. Please, I got my card this year and the expiration date is 2020. How many years? How
for the expiration, really?
When does it expire? How many years?
No, for the card, it takes 5 years.
Okay.
The expiration is 5 years. Believing that maybe your facial must have changed, the address must have changed. Okay. So after 5 years, you just walk into any of our centers and renew it.
But the number remains constant.
I want to answer. Yes, there's a question I want to answer. Banks collect the name. There was a memo by the CBN from the CBN about 2 years ago mandating banks to use NIN for any transaction in the bank. Right. So there's no bank that rejects the NIN as of today. You can quote me anyway.
Let's talk about the caller, Alex, that registered twice. What's your thought on that?
Okay, no, what happened is there are times that could be system failure, a network issue. Okay. Maybe at the point of registration first, after issuing the transaction IDC, which is the first slip, before the name slip, is data. Maybe there could have been a network issue at that time, and the data will not hit our database.
Okay.
So once that occurs, anytime it comes back for the NIN, you will have to re-enroll. But that is a one-off thing. Okay. Maybe out of a million, maybe 1 out of a million.
Let me ask you one question too that we've had people raise, and this is that on your website when we talked about this last week, there's a price list as to if you want to correct, if you there's an error in your name or date of birth, some about 15,000 naira that you have to pay to change your name. Number one, why is it so expensive? And then we hear that some of your staff also deliberately make mistakes with people's names and date of birth. One of our callers last week said he was told that his date of birth from his BVN was not correct, but he checked with his bank. His date of birth on his BVN was correct, yet they made a mistake on his registration with the NIMC, and he had to pay 15,000 naira. So why is it so expensive? I mean, to just change, to correct the date of birth, why are you charging 15,000 naira? And what are you looking at the possibility of people deliberately making mistakes so people could pay?
Oh, okay. Thank you, madam. For name change, let me say for name change and other ones, it's just 500 naira that you pay to TSA. The 15,000 naira is federal government approved fee for date of birth modification.
Why? Why is it so expensive?
We operate under federal rules, so everything must be approved by the Federal Executive Council. We don't just come up with any figure. That figure was approved by the federal government.
Right.
What government is trying to do is to frown at multiple use of date of birth. Some Nigerians have like 5 different date of birth. Right. If they want to seek for employment for this, they will have this date of birth, and they want to change. So for you to change it, you must pay 15,000. However, you can only change it once. After that, it can never be changed again.
So let's talk about the mode of payment, because this accusation of deliberate mistake from your staff, how do people pay this fines or levies, whatever you want to call it, how do people pay? Is it by cash or by transfer to the TSA account?
Okay, you pay to a TSA account. Let me give an instance. I've had case whereby a staff of us made mistake. The mistake came from that staff for the 15,000. The staff was made to pay that 15,000 naira, not the applicant. But when it comes to BVN, what most applicants don't understand that we've gotten the BVN data like 2 years ago. So the data they gave us was the date of birth they will see on the system, not us. We don't generate date of birth.
Let's talk to Solomon. Solomon has been on the line for a while. Solomon, thank you so much for being patient. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sasha. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm the coordinator. Good morning as well.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I want to be fast about my question. I had my registration on the 25th of August 2014. Then I took my wife there, and I took about 6 of my colleagues there. But to my surprise, some of my colleagues that I took there were text that they collected their card while I was still waiting. Those that they collected their card, there was a particular guy, they text him like 3 times to come for his card. Meanwhile, he has collected, they keep texting him again. But me, they have not collected. I didn't receive any text. And the man said numbers. In fact, I have never changed my number for once. My email is working.
And you've never received a message?
I never. The issue of SMS not working I won't say it's a lie, but it's not true.
Okay, let me put in another question on this one. Thank you so much for calling us. He would answer that question shortly. On WhatsApp, Ogbunaya Ruben from Oshodi says, good morning, Nigeria Info. How can I link my NIM number with my BVN number? I think that's done at the point of registration. I'm not sure it's something an individual does.
Yes.
Okay, said I registered to be... okay, I think that's the point. Okay. Adegoke from AGK from Satellite Town says, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, good morning, please. We have only one office in all of Lagos Island. Desmond from Ikoyi says, I want a quick response from my guest on the phone that my phone number I registered since 2015 is the same number I'm using and I've not received any message. So does this mean there's something wrong with the back end, Mr. Adegoke? So isn't there a serial way of reaching out to people who have registered?
Okay, no.
In a particular order. So how come people who come after... people who come in 2017 get their cards before people who registered in 2014, for instance?
Okay, like the earlier caller that registered 26 August 2014, his card is ready. I can assure you. Maybe.
Why hasn't he gotten a message?
Like I said earlier, there was a time the GSM providers asked us to say, okay, if you don't want any message from press DND, do not display.
Oh, okay.
So possibly he has done that. So the message will not enter. I can tell him that the card is ready.
All right.
August 2014.
Mr. Adegoke, take a listen to this tweet from @Olu_Afolaranmi on Twitter, and he says, hello, Wemimo. I just tried the USSD, and the message I got was that my data does not exist, and I have done the registration. I even have the printout slip. That's one. And the other person, this Akintoye Peters on Twitter says, for collaboration with churches, my church had to pay to bring the officials to our church for registration. Please clarify.
Can you do that very quickly in 1 minute?
In 1 minute, okay. He said the church has to pay. No, what we ask the churches to do is to take care of the transportation and because it's on Saturday and Sunday. We don't work on Saturday and Sunday. So if you want us to come on Sunday, you have to take care of the transportation and the feeding of those that will come and do the work.
And the feeding, why is that? Isn't there arrangement from NIMC to cater for that? I mean, you voluntarily said you were going to do this on Saturdays and Sundays. Why should citizens then pay to feed the staff who will be coming?
Okay, let me say this. It was our creative ingenuity in Lagos because we said normally our work is Monday to Friday. But working on Saturday and Sunday was something we created and the DJ approved it. So, but the NIMC will not give us money, or Canada will not, because we are supposed to work Monday to Friday.
Okay, so how much is this money that organizations need to pay?
We don't tell them to pay us.
Okay,
I will just tell them that once they come, organize Uber for them, or Taxify, or find a means of transporting the system and the personnel from our office to your location.
Okay, a final message. We're really running out of time, but the messages are so many.
They're just coming in,
on
bro.
Twitter, Iregbogbo Balogun says, I've registered and obtained my NIN and sleep, but he tried the *346 hash code on MTN, and this is what he sent a screen grab of what he got, and the message here is, additional information is needed. Visit the nearest NIMC office to retrieve your NIN. What does this mean?
No, it means possibly that MTN was not what he used at the point of registration. Some people don't know. Some people have like 2 or 3 lines. You will have used another line.
Okay.
So you should try, if it's Airtel, you should try Airtel. If it's like a Nine Mobile or Glo, then you can wait. Because we are working with
we must also say that a lot of people has done the DND thing in the past.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you're not getting it could probably be because you've sent the message do not disturb. And
so please check
you will
that.
not get the message. That's right.
Mr. Kayode Adegoke, Regional Coordinator, National Identity Management Commission, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The phone lines are buzzing. Nigeria. Remember the phone numbers you can reach. You can reach Mr. Adegoke directly. I mean, you guys send all the calls to his phone. He said he likes to pick his calls. So his number is 08029665275. 08029665275. You can also send your complaints to 08036972507. We will be seeing you tomorrow morning. Big thanks to Tosin Akinride, Yvonne Okafor, and Zainab Yakin for assisting. Let's keep talking on social media at Nigeria Info FM. I'm also there at Wemimo Sport. And I am Wemimo Adewuni.
Yes, you can follow me on all the platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Sheriff
Everywhere you turn.
Quadry. That's the name on those platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in.